Welcome to the Gray Area Podcast. We want to educate, encourage, and empower students to get answers to all of life's gray areas. In this podcast, we discuss topics like relationships, leadership, mental health, and other gray areas, and give you factual insight so you have the knowledge and skills to thrive in whatever season of life you are in.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Gray Area Podcast. Been a hot minute, but we're back with some fresh new content for the beginning of this school year. I know a lot of our listeners are students, and they're going back to school, starting up here in the Big Bend area. Mm-hmm. And we're just coming at you with some advice, especially for the seniors growing up, realizing that, high school is almost over. And it gets real. Life hits you, because I know for me, speaking from personal experience, it was weird graduating high school and being like, all right, like what's next? Because your whole life, school. But I mean, that's 18 years. Let's say you live to be 100. That's 18 years of 100 years that you have to live. So it's not your life. And let's see where we all think about the next steps. So just to recap who I'm with, some amazing co-hosts with me, and just talking some guests. We got the lovely Ashley Alberson to my left.
I really thought you were going to say the lovely Alfonso. I really thought he was going to say that.
Okay. Yeah. And then we have the beautiful Alfonso Robinson to my right.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Wow.
What's going on, everybody?
Awesome. As you can see, people watching on video, he is feeling extra, pick me today. So he decided to put his knee brace for everyone to see.
Oh my gosh.
I've seen a lot of TikToks right now where it's like the girls in high school that wear the knee brace every day. And it's like they have it on their knee and they have the sweatpants and they're like, wait. And then they put the sweatpants on and then the knee brace and they're like, they're going to love this. They're like,
I never understood that, bro.
Like, what's the knee brace for? I had a little pain in my knee. Oh, okay.
You gonna put it over the sweatpants.
Yeah, they always love the attention. Love the attention. If that's you listening, we still love you. But you get right. Awesome. Well, just like I was talking about in the intro, we are going to be talking about what's after high school. What are the next steps? With the main question of, is college worth it? Is college worth going to? I know we have we have 3 different people in here with 3 different backgrounds. Me personally did not go to college, went there for a semester and said, I don't know if I want to do this. And then we have 2 people who did go to a 4-year university, graduated, has a degree. So I want to ask a little about it. Let's just point blank. Is college worth it?
That's just such a loaded question, because it's
That's the point.
There's a yes and there's a no. And I think for me, it wasn't even an experience. I literally could not tell you one thing I learned from college, but I know I wouldn't have gotten any jobs if I hadn't had it, if I hadn't had a 4-year degree. So the jobs that I have, and the reason I am where I am today, is because of the jobs and the experience that I have. But it's literally just something to tick for your resume, not something that is actually relevant.
Yeah, it definitely depends on your intentions,
Yeah.
where you're going, things of that nature. Because if looking at it from a 10,000-foot view, honestly, discipline and networking, that's the main thing. It will teach you. You gotta discipline, because you're gonna have that free time. It's not necessarily the scheduled, I'm in school from this time to this time. You can have strictly morning classes, be done by 10:30, 11, and be free for the rest of the day. So are you gonna actually use that time?
Yeah.
Are you gonna just go off and have fun, and then you fall behind? And then just networking, just being able to mix and mingle with groups. Because personally, I thought group work was going to stop in college. Boy, was I wrong. Oh my goodness, hated it.
And you work with a team.
Exactly. And you think that it's pointless doing it, but like you said, the different jobs that you'll get, you got to work with certain people, work with certain teams, realize that you are part of the team and everybody has a role, so you can't just bogart his role, her role, because you want to look good. You actually got to let people do their job. So it's definitely a yes and no imbalance, but definitely it depends.
Well, and I think what you were talking about too with like it depends on what you want to do. Like obviously if you are going into college and you're like I will be a doctor, I will be a lawyer,
Facts.
I will be an engineer, like
You need
those
a degree.
exactly. You move forward. You go for it. But I recently have realized that if I went to college now, I would have gotten so much more out of it because I actually like learning now. Before, when I was in college, it was like, ugh, another 4 years of
Right
education.
after high school.
Right
Yeah.
after,
I thought I
just
was
spent-
out. I'm
yeah.
back into school.
I just spent so much time going to school, and now I'm going to a different kind of school where I don't even have to show up. Like, half of my classes didn't even take attendance. Catch me not being there. I had an
That's a
8 a.m.
huge
class.
thing I
Exactly.
realized is that
Yeah.
your professor is not going to say, "Hey, Ashley, I saw you were in class today.
Your
Is everything
attendance,
okay?"
yeah.
That's not a
They,
thing.
They could care
they're
less.
Gonna check either way.
I'm in a class of 500 people.
Yeah.
Literally no one cares.
They don't have time to chase after the people who are late,
Yeah.
who don't show up.
So, I mean, like, for me, I think experience is way more important right now than just getting a humanities degree. Not that I'm saying you can't do anything with a humanities degree, but that just tells me, like, poli-sci is what I got because you had to have the lowest GPA required to graduate. That was literally why I picked poli-sci. And everyone's like, oh, are you going to be a lawyer? And I was like, no, that's not in my future plans at all.
Ashley
It's
pulling
a
the whole
2.9.
finesse.
2.9 is what you have to graduate.
She does love
I
the
can
debate.
achieve that.
She does love
Man.
the debate, though, so maybe she could have been a lawyer.
Maybe. I can see that for sure.
Yeah, I saw, honestly, speaking about what you were talking about with, like, scheduling classes, this is completely unrelated. Is college worth it? But I just saw a TikTok of this guy who did his scheduling, and he calls it the Power Tower. And he showed his schedule. He has all of his classes on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, he has nothing, which I honestly, I love. But he said Tuesday he has class from 7:30 to 4:15. All
like a work
classes
day.
on Tuesday.
That is a work day, but
That's a
goodness
basic
gracious,
work day, but that's
why
a
would he do
lot.
that to himself?
That's a lot. Because honestly, I would see myself doing something like that to give myself as much time as I can to just be off.
Yeah, but
Imagine
it's just
you get Monday off. Monday is a day I hate doing anything.
Man, I don't know. I would need it because I was always the 3-dayer. So Monday,
Wednesday, Friday.
yeah, either Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I might skip Tuesday just because I could have a lab on Thursday instead. But just 3 days I can do and space it out however. But you said how many days? You said Tuesday and
Tuesday,
Wednesday?
Wednesday, Thursday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, so
Tuesday
he
being
is a
his
3
biggest day. Going from 7:30 to 4:15, basically.
Probably
a
have
9-hour
labs
workday.
on the
It's
Tuesday.
definitely
Yeah.
lab days.
And then he has like 10-minute breaks in between each
7:30
class.
lab though. My lab teacher, man, what if we wasn't there the first 10 minutes? The door was locked. So at 7:30, I know it had to be a lab. There's no other class that's just going.
How often you have some kid rolling up going, "Hey, can I get in?"
It's happened a couple times.
And he said, "No, you're gone." And he legit goes, "No,
No
you're."
one was like, okay.
Dang, man, that's a cold-hearted class.
But even if we did, it was like we opened the doors. Like the way the class was positioned, he was right. His desk, front door. So it wasn't no.
If you were gonna walk up and let someone in, he'd have been like,
Yeah.
"Hey, don't do that."
Yeah, and even if you let him in, okay, now we just halted the whole class. Ain't no telling where this could go. So
Yeah.
Woof.
Dang. Well, to go on the notes of is college worth it, I have this article in front of me from the BritannicaProCon.org. Reliable, nonpartisan, empowering. Which brings me to say this podcast is brought to you by... No, it says the pro and con arguments of college. It has about 17 of them. We don't have to go through all 17, but there's some pros and cons, and I have some other articles of like top benefits of not going to college. Do you have to go to college to be successful? Because that's a lot of things that's drilled into our heads at such a young age. At least I can speak for me. It's like you're not going to get anywhere if you don't have a college degree. That has to be the first thing they look at. Do you have a college degree? Because they're going to have a list of papers, and whoever has a degree is going to go into the pile. It's like, all right, we'll look at them. And if you don't have a degree, that's the first thing they look at. And they say, oh, you don't have a degree? See ya. And I think a lot of times, especially back then, I think that was the case.
Yeah.
But today, I think it's completely different.
Well, I think, unfortunately, I still think that's like either you have ton of experience or you have that degree. I think those are the two things. I feel like it's still a check mark list, because even working at Journeys, being the assistant manager there, when we had employees, I was still, okay, are they in college trying to? Because employees look at it as a form of discipline. Okay, can they balance this out? Okay, are they trying to pursue a degree? Do they have the degree? What's the degree in? So it's still like a check mark, but more companies look at experience now. So I feel like if you knew what you wanted to do in high school and you just kept doing it, you're just open to whatever, because then you're going to have the experience, the skill is going to come with the experience, and then you have the portfolio or whatever work it is to show. So
I'll say, like, when I'm looking to hire someone, I much prefer 3 years, 4 years experience over a 4-year degree. 100%. But that's just me, probably because I don't value college degree.
Yeah, I think experience is a very big deal. I've gotten a lot of my jobs from experience. That's the reason why you called me in for a job interview here, is because I have the experience of what I'm doing. I went to college for a semester, and I am a person who doesn't like to waste my time, and I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I didn't know what career I wanted to do, and I said I don't want to spend money, or even more valuable, my time at a college, because I was going to a community college at the time. I didn't want to spend my time and my money at a community college getting a degree I may never use, because then I would always look at that and say, man, that was a waste. Like, I wasted my time, I wasted my money. I could have been out there doing something that's actually going to further my career. And even where I'm going right now, like where I see my career heading out with this job and what I'm doing on the side, I'm like, man, like, still a degree isn't super necessary. Like, a lot of what people are going to look at is the experience. Like, if, especially like with videos, if someone comes to me, if I have two people and they're like, all right, like, I want to be your videographer, I would say, all right, like, show me some videos. If some guy was like, I don't have videos, but I have a 4-year degree, but buddy's like, here's 10 videos, and I like the videos, I'm hiring him. Because you show me that you can make those videos.
Thanks.
Or same with coaching. Like, because I also coach on the side, it's like, all right, show me your experience with coaching. Give me the people that can vouch for you and say, hey, like, yes, I can vouch for him. He's a good coach. She's a good coach. Because I'd rather see, so my past 4 years, this soccer team has done this and this and this, and the players have grown on to do this and this and this later on, more than, I have a 4-year sports management degree. Cool. But he has experience with doing this. So I agree with what you're saying. Getting into this pro and cons list, it says pro number 1 for college is college graduates make more money. The average college graduate makes $570,000 more than the average high school graduate over a lifetime. Careers for college graduates are 71% to 136% higher than those of high school graduates. So I think that is true, purely based off of the fact that in order to have these high-paying jobs, lawyer, doctor, engineer, you need degrees. Like, that's one thing I will say with a doctor is, cool, like, what's your degree? Did you go, like, with my lawyer, did you go to Harvard? Did you go to a prestigious law school? Or you were like, I had a couple of debates in class and thought I'd be a good lawyer.
I went to Phoenix online.
I went to New Hampshire University.
Follow my doctor Instagram page where I've been practicing.
I want someone to, like, yes, I've been doing this for 20 years. Here's my degree. Here's everything. Like, awesome. That's great. I think that matters a lot. And I think that's why one of the reasons why this stat is like this is because, college graduates, people like that, they're going to make a lot of money. Yeah. This is true. And you're going to get more money. That's one of the reasons why my mom is going back to school to get her doctorate right now, is because as she moves up, she had her bachelor's, and then she got her master's, and with that, the job she had gave her a pay raise.
More moolah.
Because now she has a master's. And right now she's in the middle of getting her doctorate. I think she gets it within like a year or two.
That's awesome.
You get more money with being a doctor. That's just that's how the world works, which is understandable.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% side with that. Of like, yeah, you're gonna get more money. But since the con here, well, let's talk about the pro. Like, well, how do y'all think about that, or should I go into the con and say like so we can debate the two?
Yeah, I think it's good to talk about both of them because it's like two sides of the same coin.
So it says con number 1, student loan debt is crippling for college graduates. About 44 million Americans owe more than $1.5 trillion in student debt. 45% of people with student loan debt say college was not worth it.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Yeah, you still.
No, because I have
still paying off
student debt. I'm
debt?
paying it off, and
Thanks.
it's. I wouldn't say crippling, but I would have loved to not have it.
Yeah.
It would change a lot for life if you didn't have to pay so much money every month, because that money can go towards something else.
That's true.
That can go
Big
straight into
facts.
savings.
Yeah.
What about you?
Loans definitely. It's not crippling, but it's definitely a thing to knock off the list at the first of the month. So
Yeah.
that is a downside to it.
One
For
thing
sure.
that opened my eyes to student loan debt is because not going to school, I can say is a plus of I don't have any student loan debt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any debt to my name. I have a fully paid off car. I have no student loan debt. I have no debt. I am, everything I have is purely in the positive, which puts me in the upper half of America.
Weird flex, but okay.
Until I marry you, and then I take all
Yeah,
of
and then
that.
you get all of it.
I take a
Yay!
car, student loan,
House.
a house, but all those things are also super worth it, so I'm not upset at all.
Those
about
things
that.
are-
Good say.
You're also very
Oh, thank
worth it
you.
as well. I again watched a TikTok. TikTok's very eye opening, like in good ways and in bad ways. I think this is a good way of. I think this video was good because it was a guy going around his classmates who are currently in medical school, and medical school crazy student loan debt. You know that with Vakoya, I'm sure. Just became a doctor, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's student loans are crazy. And it was like, all right, when you graduate, how much debt are you gonna have? And the lowest one was like about $120,000. It was like, how long? When do you hope to have that paid off? By the time I'm like 35, have it all paid off. And these kids are
26.
26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
So and honestly, that's paying off $100,000 in 7 years, 6 years. That's a great time schedule, especially if you are becoming a doctor and someone working in the medical field, because especially right now, traveling nurses make so much money.
They are definitely
They're
banking.
nurses. They don't
Yeah, they're
have
nurses.
that
That's true.
student debt.
They're making a whole
Well,
lot
they
of
do,
money.
but not that much.
It was very eye opening. One guy was like, "Yeah, about $250,000. That's his student loan debt. He's gonna graduate with that much debt." And it's nuts to think of, like, whoa, like my mental state could not fathom being like, yeah, and now I owe the University of Michigan $250,000.
No.
Yeah, nah.
Thanks for the piece of paper. Like, that's nuts. That's crazy. So debating those, is it more worth it to go to college where it's like, yeah, like obviously, if you're gonna become a doctor, you need that.
Does the pay raise validate having the student debt?
But but that's also, it says here, that's about 1% of 44 million Americans owe over $100,000. So it says the average is about $37,172 in student loan debt. This was in undergrad college students in February 2018. Let's take it into the normal person, because that's the 1% of like, oh, if you're gonna become a doctor, you will have debt. That's no doubt.
Yeah.
Unless you come from money or you get unbelievably blessed with crazy amount of scholarships.
Full ride Harvard doctorate skills.
That's nuts. Unless you are in the 0.01% of people who are going to get scholarships for all that, or just are blessed to come from money, you're going to have a lot of debt. So talk about the median, the average of $37,000. That's a lot. That's still a lot to take on. That's
an average salary.
That's the price of a brand new car.
Yeah.
Like brand new off the lot, and like you said, that's an average salary.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, what are our opinions on that?
I mean, I think it really depends, truthfully, because that's still debt you're acquiring, but like you said, if we look at the average degree, you're still getting more money than what you were if you didn't go. It's you just have to learn how to manage your money. Do I think it's always worth it? No. I feel like college, you definitely have to go with more so of a plan. But I mean, if you're getting paid more and you didn't have no drive to do anything else,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I mean, a lot of people go to college just to do something, unfortunately. But them doing that, it prevented them from probably slacking off and not doing anything at all, I feel like. So then you come out all that time in college, whatever experience you're going through. Now, I'm definitely not saying just wallow in the college experience and be a professional student. But once you learn what you were going to do, okay, now just make money from it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you got to go through that little slope of debt, but it was better than what you were doing before.
Yeah, it's you, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's a grind. It really is a grind, and I know it's like, oh, that's so cringy. Be like, all right, rise and grind, my working people of America, and people are like, wow, capitalism. I hate waking up. And
But I
going
mean,
to
that's
work,
the word,
but-
though. That's the important factor, the grind.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't go to school, okay, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what my parents told me. They were like, all right, you're not going to college. You're going to work. Like, you're not going to sit at
Right.
home
Oh, yeah.
and play Xbox. And,
Totally
you know,
agree.
hey, when's dinner being
Oh
ready?
my
Like, no, I had a job where I had to be there at 7 a.m. driving from Wakulla. I was up at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning to drive to Tallahassee to work, to wash dishes for 9 hours. And it was a grind. But it gave me relationships, and it taught me how to, hey, you're going to wake up and you're going to have to do it. Like, because here's the thing, they'll find someone else to do it. Like, especially being a dishwasher, you are expendable at college town.
I don't know. Right now with the great whatever it is.
Now,
What is
now
the
it's
great
different.
Yeah.
I always forget.
It's not
resignation.
Yeah, it's like
The
recession.
great
Yeah.
resignation. I don't know.
People just be quitting now because they're like, don't
well,
like
do you
it.
think it's
At-home job
because
and
they
stuff.
all got 4-year degrees and they're being asked to be dishwashers?
That might be
Now,
it.
that is
Because I'm
true.
seeing a trend where it's like me graduating with a 4-year degree in, let's say political science, and it's like me now taking orders at Smoothie King. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
what are you using the degree for?
right.
That's a lot of it. That's a lot of it.
It's,
I want to know how they end up just in those jobs, though. Because even if you don't have, or even if you're not doing a job in your degree, why Smoothie King?
but
why,
you
why
know,
the
like
smaller
2008,
Some
that
people
scared
just find
everybody.
jobs.
All the people right now graduating were alive and well in 2008 when the recession happened, and nobody could get a job. And so when they're graduating, they're like, "I need a job. Like that's
Facts.
something that I need to be
They were
successful."
taught that you
like,
need to go get a job and
yeah,
make money.
so it doesn't matter if I just graduated from college. I'm going to get a job, whatever it is, because whatever job you can get is good.
Yeah.
And so now they're realizing, wait,
Yeah.
And the reality of the
I-
world is money makes the world go round. That's the reality.
Yeah.
Like, whether you're a person of faith or a person without faith, whether you're a person that believes in money, hates capitalism, loves capitalism, like,
You need a little moolah.
money makes the world, like, there's a reason why I say money talks.
yeah.
So I think what's really awesome right now, especially with, you know, the age of social media, I think people are really, like, starting to value themselves higher and say, like,
Yeah.
man, I deserve more. And in terms of jobs that are, you know, treating you terribly and overworking you and underpaying you, you're like, yeah, know your worth. But I also think people are going into jobs expecting so much off the rip
Yeah.
and not willing to show that you deserve that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times it's like, all right, like, I'm applying and I need a 40,000 plus salary. I need at least 2 weeks PTO. I need this and this and this. And it's like, you're a cashier at McDonald's. Like, you are hourly,
Yeah.
and you need to show that you want to work here.
Facts.
And, you know, the minute something goes wrong, they're like, this isn't worth it, I quit. And I don't think that's the bad side of it as well, where you need to understand that, especially with jobs you love, there are going to be days where it sucks. Like, that whole saying of, like, well, if you love it, you'll never work a day in your life. Like, I think that's complete crap. Because, like, yeah, like, you can love what you do, but some days you're going to say, man, I don't want to do this. Some days it's going to feel like a chore. Some days it's going to feel like a job. But you just have to push past those days because you know that you love this job and have that discipline of saying, I like being here. I think that's super important nowadays. Any rebuttal to that, or you want to move on to another pro?
Definitely thinking. I mean,
I saw the gears moving over here.
yeah. I mean, if you love what you do, I understand that mindset of it, because there will be days where it's just hard to do anything. But I feel like if you was sleeping all day, you're gonna get tired of sleeping all day too. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'd rather do what I love to do, get paid for it, even if it is on a time schedule, than not do something that's completely to the side, because that's going to feel like work. Because even the stuff that I do now, I do this job because it's everything in the field that I'm doing. But if I was working like packing Amazon boxes, like, nah, I would view that as literally me going to work, me manual labor, moving the boxes.
Yeah, that's purely the mindset of I'm clocking in, clocking out.
Yeah.
What can I do to get this bread right now?
For sure. With doing a job that you, in the field that you love, it does give a little leniency in the stuff that you let happen because you care about it. So doing videos, doing graphics, sometimes where it's long hours, but it's like, okay, I care about making this look good. I care about all the little things that people don't know about. I care about. So it's like, it makes you want to do the things and go the extra mile.
Yeah, and one thing I will say too about, I don't know whether it is experience or going to college, probably a little bit of both, but like, I think sometimes people get in the mindset, especially with like the Great Resignation, like, oh, this is hard, I don't want to do it. I'd rather do something else. It's going to be easier, or I won't have this problem somewhere else. And that's not true. You're going to have the same problems you have where you are everywhere you go, because people inevitably will rub you the wrong way, annoy you, frustrate you. So I think it's a very interesting mindset of like, oh, well, I'll just leave and, I'll figure something out, something better. And it's like, or you could stay where you are, figure out how to deal with people, and that's going to help you more in the long run. That's going to give you the experience to be a well-grounded person, probably even become a leader where you are, because you are able to deal with those people that other people don't want to deal with, but they see you as someone that's, a safe place to go to, a safe place to talk, a person that's going to hear everybody. And so, learning to get through those times rather than run away from those things, I think that's an invaluable thing that you can bring to wherever you are, whether you're in college and you're in a group or an extracurricular thing, or whether you're in a job workplace.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Well, I want to go into this one because I think this is huge. Another pro for going to college is young adults learn interpersonal skills in college. So students have the opportunity to interact with other students and faculty, to join student organization and clubs, and to take part in discussions and debates. According to Arthur Chickering's 7-vector student development theory, developing mature interpersonal relationships is one of the 7 stages college students progress through as they attend college. Basically saying, through college, you will learn person skills, people skills, how to communicate, how to grow up and ask for help, how to talk to people, how to understand people, stuff like that. So how do we feel about that? Do we think the 2 people who went to college here, do you feel that happened?
I think it depends on the size of your college for sure, because FAMU, it's big but it's not big. So the average class at most maybe 70, 80. So it's nothing too crazy. And the culture at FAMU is family, and you need to ask. If you need help, ask for it. So they kind of push that. It was a lot of times I've been in situations where, okay, I had to go talk to the professor, literally, like grade in the trenches.
Yeah.
But you had to go talk, make something shake. If you stay quiet in your little bubble, You're not going to get into group meetings. You're not going to get no help from nobody. So it does kind of push you to be more, people related, but I don't think it necessarily teaches you people skills because, people are still kind of crappy at that. But it pushes you in that arena, though.
Yeah.
I would say I wholeheartedly disagree. College did nothing for my interpersonal skills. I got all of my personal skills and all of my confidence from working at a job for politics. And that's where I was literally thrown into the fire. I had to set up events. I had to talk to people. I had to call people on the phone every single day. I had to take constituent calls. And my boss, Kayla Lott, she's number one amazing. I love her so much. She's the one who taught me interpersonal skills. And she's the one that helped me grow my confidence the most. She really made me aware of how to do it by modeling it. And so I would say college, I was like a little snail in my shell, and was that way for a long, long, long time until I got into a job that forced me out of it.
Yeah. Okay. I can understand that. I think even going to what you talked about earlier in the podcast, one of the first things you talked about, working in groups, learning how to communicate with people, learning how to not be afraid to text and call someone and email them, and working in groups, because you learn later on, working in corporate America, you will have teams that you are part of. You will have groups that you are part of. You will have people you have to report to. You will have questions that you will have to ask. And if you don't ask those questions, no one's going to know that you didn't know this. And they're going to say, hey, why wasn't this done?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know how. Why didn't you ask for help?
Right.
Like, hopefully you're in a place that allows you to ask for help, that gives you the space to ask for help. Because I also understand there are people there are corporations that it's like, hey, don't talk to me, just do your job. And it's like, well, I don't know how to do my job. And it's like, well, then why are you here? Like, oh, well, because you hired me and I want to know how to do my job.
Yeah.
But as a con, many people succeed without college degrees. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, of the 30 projected fastest growing jobs between 2010 and 2020, 5 of those 30 jobs do not require a high school diploma. 9 require a high school diploma, 4 require an associate's degree, 6 bachelor's, and 6 require graduate degrees. And then it gives off a list of very successful people who have never enrolled in college or never even completed their college degrees. To name a few of them, there's Richard Branson, the founder and chairman of the Virgin Group; Charles Culpepper, owner and CEO of Coca-Cola; Michael Dell, founder of Dell; Walt Disney. I don't need to tell you what he was. Bill Gates, Microsoft; Steve Jobs, Apple; Wolfgang Puck, he was a chef and restaurateur; Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook. All these people that we can all agree with, I would say, very successful people in the corporate scheme of they have made a giant corporation and have made a lot of money. These people have made a lot of money. But I also want to pull this as an example, because everyone wants to be like, well, Bill Gates did this and Steve Jobs did this. Like, Steve Jobs, Apple was made in a garage. Harley Davidson was founded in a garage. All these people, and this is, well, I'll count the list they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. Fair amount of people. Of those 10 people, obviously there's way more people that have been successful, but over 117 billion people have lived on this earth. Currently, 8 billion people live on this earth. 10 of 8 billion is microscopic. I'm not saying you can't be successful without a degree, but don't compare yourself to giants, because that is unrealistic for you.
It goes back down to what are you grinding for? What's the purpose?
Yeah.
Because even them, they didn't go to school because they felt like it was a waste of time, taking them away from what they were doing. Steve Jobs in the garage, really actually trying to come up, build, engine, whatever he had going on.
Yeah.
And that's not even listing the other kabillion people that do run successful companies that did go to college. So
yeah, and even then, even to talk about Steve Jobs never went to college, I'm not convinced Buddy can build a computer. I don't know if he ever built a computer.
Yeah, me neither. I
Surrounded
don't know for
himself
He
sure.
might have had
but-
the idea for it,
Mhm.
but he probably, I'm not going to tell you 100% for sure, but I'm 99% sure he surrounded himself around people who probably went to college, who know computer engineering, who know how to work technology. That's huge. I could tell you probably, here's the thing, nowadays with YouTube University, you can learn a lot. You can learn how to do a lot of things, but you're not going to learn how to perform heart surgery. I'll say
I
that.
don't know.
Actually, who knows anymore? I'm about to get to it.
I watched a lot
Exactly.
of Grey's Anatomy, so
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'm this close to
Yeah,
my
you know,
PhD. Just kidding.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard that line for way too much.
But Charles Culpepper, owner and CEO of Coca-Cola, I think he actually made Coke. But
Yeah.
even then, it's like nowadays, like all the chemicals and all the stuff
It's
that goes
way more
into
detailed
it,
now.
it's way more detailed. Bill Gates, I've no doubt, super smart man. There's people in his corporation who have been to college. And because of going to college, they have these opportunities. And, that doesn't I think a pro for going to college and not going to college is the fact that you can gain relationships even if you go to college or even if you don't go to college.
Yeah.
Relationships, that is the biggest thing, is relational capital with someone, is knowing someone and being on their good side to where they say, I trust him or her, I trust him or her, and say, you give me a call. If you ever need a job, have them give me a call. I will vouch for you 1,000%, because that's huge, is knowing that. And a lot of the stuff is, getting higher up and higher up and higher up, is a lot of it's not what you know, but who you know.
Yeah.
I think that's a very, very huge thing right now. We can go over one right now. We can go another one right now if anyone doesn't have anything else to add to that.
No, we can definitely go to the next one.
Awesome. Let me find a good one. Wow, it's a little radio silence right now. Alfonso, give us a fun fact about you.
Okay. On
Trying
the
to spot.
Fun fact, I make clothes, cut, print,
true.
vinyl, screen print. I've pretty much done every form of printing on clothing except direct to garment. So
And you have like a shop in your house.
yes,
Yeah.
under construction. But,
Under construction. Well, TBA, TB.
To-
Coming soon. I don't
coming
know.
soon.
Loading, whatever.
Recently moved, so got to
Yeah.
get everything organized and stuff like that. But for
Yeah.
sure,
Awesome. Well, thank you for that fun fact. So more, it says another pro of going to college is earning a college degree is a major life achievement. College graduation can represent an attainment of the American dream, the culmination of years of hard work for the student, and the payoff for sacrifices made by supporting parents and friends. Blogger Darius Mine wrote that his graduation day at Wilberforce University, and these university names are nuts.
Wilberforce?
Wilberforce University. Have you ever heard of that? I don't know. Was probably the best day of my life. That was the day I finished my challenge to myself, and also the day I made history in my family. It was the day I earned my college degree. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about this? Is now to say best day of my life.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's it. It's huge.
Yeah, I mean,
Also depends on the degree. I don't know
I
the degree.
chose not to walk because I really didn't care. But I will say I was glad to get it. I was like, wow, I did it. It's done. It's over. It's finished. But to say it was the best day of my life.
I mean, we can't really quantify his exact experience because, I mean,
Yeah.
schooling itself, that could have been something he had to, go through, struggles in between schooling. He could have been the first person to graduate from.
True.
And, I mean, just coming from a black background, I mean, that is something big in our culture because that wasn't allowed at one point for us to. So I know my grandmother, that was one thing. She definitely wanted to make sure a lot of people at least go to college, because we didn't have that. So, I mean, it could have been. Now, of course, I feel like that's the first step. You got everything together. So at that point, sure, you're accomplished, but let's not make that the achievement.
The end
Let's
all,
go
be
to
all.
what's next. Okay, you
Because,
got the
yeah.
degree. How you using the degree? What did you learn from college? Like, if he's just settling into, oh yeah, boom, got this paper, then nah, you're folding,
Yeah.
and your head ain't on right. It's really just what you do after it, for sure.
Yeah, I said it earlier, especially, let's say college, let's say you get a doctorate after 18, let's say that adds, on the high spectrum, 8 years of more education, 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
So
pressure.
you are, let's say 10 years, 28 years old of a 100-year life. It's a quarter of your life.
Yeah.
How much more life do you have to live, and moving on to the next thing? Because that can't be the end. That's the beginning for a lot of people.
That's what
So
it is.
I think that's going into a lot of things what you just said of that's
And that's what it
It's
should.
not the
It's the
end.
beginning.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
that's the beginning of your life.
Well, and I think too, it's important to note, like when we talk in our classes, like the Real Essentials curriculum we teach, we talk about that sequence of success, and it does include getting an education. Get an education, get a job, get married, then have kids. And the education part is, literally get a high school diploma, get a technical, go through technical training, go to college,
Get a trade.
yeah, so
Go to
it
trade
doesn't
school.
have to be this whole thing, but I will say the research on that sequence of success is overwhelming. There's less than a 10% chance if you go through that sequence that you'll be in poverty. So I will say there is something to getting educated. So I don't want to knock it. I don't want to be like, oh, college meant nothing to me. Blah, blah, blah. Like, it was obviously a step in my development, a step in my growth.
Yeah.
It did impact me.
You said
but
it mattered too. It's not like it was like
yeah.
I went to college, learned nothing, and everything I got after college is not because of college. Like you said, college taught you a lot, and the fact of of learning, and it gave you a lot of.
No, college didn't teach me anything. It's a box I had to tick to get a
You
job,
said,
which taught me stuff.
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
you got hired because of your degree.
Right, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In fact.
Yeah.
And then I'm glad you circled back and talked about, picking up a trade or a skill. That's the biggest point. Not just graduating high school or just not finishing, whichever way, not just falling to the wayside. Whatever it is, picking up something, a skill, a trade, create, you bringing value. What value are you bringing to the world? Small scale, big scale, it doesn't matter, but some type of value has to be brought forward. So it doesn't necessarily have to be college or, an associate's degree, but as long as you're picking up something to make some type of change.
Yeah. And the last con we'll talk about is college stress can lead to health problems and other negative consequences. 40% of college students reported feeling frequently overwhelmed in a 2012 survey about stress levels. According to the University of Florida's Counseling and Wellness Center, the competition for grades, the need to perform, relationships, career choice, and many other aspects of the college environment cause stress. Stress can lead to headaches, weight gain, chronic digestive disorders, fatigue, increases in blood pressure, insomnia, teeth grinding and sleep, general irritability, reoccurring feeling of hopelessness, depression and anxiety, and low self-esteem. Can y'all relate to that, going to college and saying like, wow,
Boy, oh
I'm feeling
boy.
stressed right now?
Yeah, that's that go hand in hand. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Just balancing everything, and then majority of my classes were science and then psychology because it's physical therapy. So dealing with those labs, the different chemistry classes, and all of that stuff, that side, and then with college, it's not high school teaching. Teachers in high school, you might think they don't care, but they care. They at least make sure, because they kind of have to. Everybody can't fail. That looks bad on their job. So they're going to care.
Yeah.
College professors, boy, you're on your own. You better, if you need help, you better say
They
something.
don't care about you unless you care about them.
Exactly.
Literally.
So just a huge stress on that sense with grades and learning the professors and everything you listed off.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Well, and
Read your syllabus.
you have to kind of think about in college, all of that is real. There is stress, but if you don't learn how to handle that stress in college, all of that stress will trickle into when you get a job. It's not going to go away. It's not like, oh, if I don't go to college, I'll be fine.
Yeah,
no,
you got to deal with it
eventually. There's stress in the real world too, and they're different, but there's like, you have to figure out how to cope with the stress. And you have to figure out, you know, do I really want this to affect my mental health? Do I really want to let this dictate? If getting an A or a B on this is going to make me see myself differently, like, maybe I need to rethink what grades are. Like, because again, if that's how you let your body and your whole psyche be determined, then when your boss doesn't tell you every day, good job, good job, good job, then you're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel, wow, my mental health, that's crazy. I thought college was over and I wasn't going to have to deal with that. But no, all of those things, they come into real life too.
College is almost like a simulation or an incubator.
So
it's like, it puts you...
Life is a simulation.
You're paying money to be put in this bubble where you're going to go through things related to life. So even when it comes to money, you have, because you're in school, you have access to borrow this money to help you through. So learn how to maneuver money back and forth. Grades, you know, that's the main value system of currency in order to finish. So you have to study, you have to learn through that, you have to deal with that stress. If you're not in college, you're going to learn those same lessons. It's more so you got to pick and choose how you're going to learn. So if you're sitting at home all day, and that's when, depression comes in, all right, so how you going to handle that? If you go the job route, boss man is annoying, that's the professor. The things that you're dealing with at the job, that's the people that you interact with, the team member, crew member, if you're working at fast food, and that's the group project you have. So it's comparable. It's just you have more freedom to pick what way you're gonna go if you don't go to college. I feel like that's the main difference. So college, everything is kind of you have
the simulation is set.
Like boom, go.
Right.
Figure it out. If you don't, it's like, well, I want to go about it this way. This life lesson, let me learn it. Now I'm gonna go this way instead. So
yeah, I think that's huge. Well, to end it off, I want to also preface and say that the answer to, is college worth it? I think that is very dependent on you. It depends on whoever you are listening or watching, or even to us. It depended on us. For me and what I'm doing, college, I would say, is not worth it. If you want to become a doctor, college is worth it. If you want to be a lawyer, college is worth it. Even taking it out of there, like even learning CEO stuff, like I want to run a business, like college can be worth it. Going to a business school, and everyone likes to crap on, I have a business, you have a business degree, like, whatever, that's a cop-out degree. No, it's not. You can learn a lot from getting a business degree. There's no cop-out degrees in college, unless there's a college somewhere that's like, learn how to underwater basket weave. Then I don't know.
You pulled that out. I remember that.
2%.
Yeah.
That could be one person listening.
Wow.
I just enrolled.
If it is, hit me up.
I need to know.
I need to know. I need to know where you're going.
Where you going with this? What's the end goal?
What's the goal here? But I also want to say as well, even if college isn't it, trade school can be it. No matter what happens in this world, we need electricians, we need plumbers, we need welders, we need people like that. And you don't need to get a 4-year degree to go do that. And I know welders who make money. I know plumbers who make money. I know electricians who make money. Truck drivers who make
working
money.
At the ports. It's a lot of things that can make money. It's just
people are gonna pay you for jobs that other people don't want to do. It's as simple as that. Find a job people don't like doing and do it, and you'll get paid. But yeah. So, thank you so much for listening. Do y'all have anything else you would like to say at the very end? Any little piece of tip or something like that?
No, sir. It's all good. Just make sure you do something. You gotta do something.
Yeah.
Got to.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening today. We hope you feel educated, encouraged, and empowered to thrive in every area of your life.